Hello, cyberspace astronauts. Are you ready to be entertained with pointless jibber-jabber and senseless small talk? If so, then you have come to the right place. It's the Todd Cook Show, starring Todd Cook, featuring Todd Cook, with special guest Todd Cook. Now broadcasting from his garage, here he is, Todd Cook.
Here we go again. Here we go again, or maybe I should say, here I go again. But I guess you guys out there are actively listening to this program, so I can say here we go again because I am actively talking and you are actively listening. It is a group effort, and I'm glad you have decided to join me once again. I am Todd Cook, and you are listening to The Todd Cook Show. I'm coming to you live from my garage in Wichita, Kansas, and I'm really thrilled that you have taken the time to listen to my program, my little podcast that I do here once a week. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you enjoy listening to it as well. One thing that I think I have forgotten to mention thus far in this program, I always try to promote my podcast some way. I tell people to, go to my Facebook site and to go to iTunes to download it, or my YouTube channel to download this program. But one of the things that I seem to fail to tell everybody to do that is quite simple, once again, I've told people to subscribe to the program, to listen, to tell other people. But one of the most simple things that you can do to help this program is just to click on that like on the Facebook page. So look up The Todd Cook Show on Facebook, or you can go to YouTube, like I said. But once you get to the Facebook account, if you see the program posted on Facebook, even if you don't want to listen to it, if you click like, that's one of the best things that you can do for this program. That'll help spread the word around. And, of course, I want you to listen to it. But if you might not have time right when I first post it, right when you first see it, you might not have the time to listen. But you always have time to click like. That's a simple little thing that Facebook provides out there, and it will help me a lot get the word around to get more people to listen to this program, which is really the main goal. That's really the only goal I have right now, is to try to get more people to listen to this program. And of course, to try to make it a good program. If I could get 1 million people to listen to it one day, but if it was not a good program, they're not going to listen to it again. So I got to make sure it's a good program as well, and that's what I'm trying to do here with the Todd Cook Show. Today on the show, I'm going to tell you about my wife and I. We took a little trip to a hotel, and we got to stay there overnight, and that's not something we get to do a lot. There's some people out there probably saying, if you're a traveling salesman and you stay in hotel rooms way more than you want to, you're probably thinking, well, what's the big deal about that? I hate hotel rooms. But me and my wife don't get to go very often, and we got to go, and I'm going to tell you a few things about that. It's almost going to be kind of like the kitchen sinking bit that I did a few weeks back. I'm going to tell you quite a few things about the trip at the hotel, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm not going to do it at real rapid-fire pace, so it will not be quite the kitchen sinking bit, but it will be something somewhat similar to that. Actually, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'll tell you a few things I want to tell you about that trip that we had, and we'll go from there. Also, later on the show, as I always do, I have some music that I play for everybody. And today I got a band called Surface, S-U-R-P-H-A-C-E, sorry. S-U-R-P-H-A-C-E. That's a band here that gigs around Wichita quite a bit, and once again, it was recommended to me by somebody on Facebook, and I'm going to play their song, one of their songs, coming up in a few moments. And then I also have another little bit that I'm going to do for you at the very end of this program, the last 5 minutes or so, maybe 6 minutes. I'm going to play for you a conversation that I had with my wife. While we were at the hotel, I had my cell phone, and I would get it out and set it on the voice recorder, and I'd set it out. And at this particular time, it was on the table while we were at the restaurant having some appetizers and getting ready to start our weekend. And I set the recorder out, and I'm going to play that conversation for you. And it's not because there was something great that happened. It's just a little bit I like to do. It's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino movie, where he leaves a lot of these big, long, drawn-out conversations in the movie. It gives it a little more flavor, lets you know a little bit more about the characters. Well, I'm going to try to do that with me and my wife, let you know a little bit more about our personalities when I'm not here on this podcast and talking to this microphone. It's a silly thing. I've heard it done before on the radio. I thought it's kind of appealing, but not quite this way. This is going to be just a 5-minute conversation with my wife. Hopefully that'll be entertaining to you, and that'll be at the very end of this program. So, first of all, like I said, let's get talking about the trip to the hotel. Left the kids with Grandma, which is the first step in any trip to a hotel that you do with your wife. And that was the main reason, just to kind of get away for a little bit. You know, when we have 2 kids and full-time jobs, it's kind of hard to find that time for each other. Wink, wink. And so we wanted to go to a hotel, and we went. And rather than pulling up to we were only going to be there one night, so we did not have that many bags with us, just, overnight bag. And so instead of pulling up to the front door and pulling all of our bags in, getting our room, and then going back out and finding a parking spot, we just parked our car first where we were going to park, and we didn't care where. We just found a parking spot. We parked and then took our bags in and got our room, which we had already reserved, and then we started heading towards where we needed to go. The lady told us up the stairs, down the hall, this way, whatever. And we started heading that direction. I thought for a moment that we were going to have a little fight before we even got to our room because, like I said, we did not have that many bags, but I still had quite a bit. I had one bag on one shoulder, another bag on the other shoulder, and a computer, laptop, that we actually never even got out of the case, but we brought it just in case. And so I'm kind of weighed down with a lot of this stuff. And whenever you got, that much weight on you, it doesn't take much for you to get a little more cranky, And at some point, she just started walking in a random direction. And I was like, aren't we supposed to go there? And at some point, I just saw a sign that says our room is that way. And she was walking like she knew where she was going. So I just kept following her. And long story short, we zigzagged all around the courtyard and upstairs and downstairs. And I think upstairs again. And finally, we found our room. But we ended up having a really nice time. But the weird thing is when you go to a hotel, and this might be the only place on earth that you have this issue. As soon as you get to the hotel, what do you need? Ice. Got to have some ice. Got to have ice. They got ice machines here. They got an ice machine there. You got to get some ice. And after we dropped all of our luggage off in the room and we're ready to, the beverages that we had needed to be chilled. So we went down to get ice. We headed down the hallway. And at some point, I see the ice machine, and I open up the little container I got, and, they got that little bag inside of the ice container. I'm not sure what you call the ice container. Maybe there's a technical word for it. Maybe it's called the ice box, miniature ice box. I don't know. But the little container that you put ice in, and they always have the plastic bag. And a part of me thinks that I'd rather not have the plastic bag because it's never the right size anyway. I mean, just don't give me the plastic bag. I'll run some really hot water into the ice thing, and I'll scrub it down, and then I'll just dump my ice right into there. But they give you that little bag, and I go down there, and I think I still had something else in my hand, and I set the ice bucket underneath the ice machine, and I try to get the little bag to go around the edges, and the bag's too small. And I said to my wife, I said, why is this bag half the size of the tub that it's supposed to go in? It's like, having a 5-gallon trash bag and trying to put it into a 13-gallon trash can. It just doesn't work. It keeps falling off. And that's exactly what happened with this trash, or with this ice. I put the bag around the edges, set it underneath the machine, push the button, and boom, the bag falls in. I release the button, and of course, you still got another half dozen ice cubes that got to fall in on top of the bag, that's crumpled up down in there. So I got to set down whatever I had in my hand and reach into the ice thing and scoop some of the ice out and straighten the bag back up and put the ice back in there and then hold it on there real tight again and then push the button and finally get it to fill up. Just give me a big enough bag that it's not going to do that, or maybe a rubber band that goes around the top. But from the very get-go, I'm just trying to get ice, something so simple as ice, and I put it down there and lose the bag. And so it's like this big challenge to try to hold the bag and push the button at the same time. But I finally managed to do that. And then we went back to the room, and this is another thing that I find really surprising too. I don't know if maybe we had a faulty door or a faulty lock. They give you a little card like a credit card, and I dropped the credit card into the thing, picked it up, green light comes on, and I go to open the door and can't get in. I do it again. Boop. Open. It won't. And the problem is that it gives you a half of a split of a nano of a second between the time that I dropped the card in and pulled it back out until when you got to hit the handle on the doorknob. It was crazy fast, and I had the ice bucket in my hand. And so I'm doing this with one hand, card in, and then try to adjust the card into my hand, the grip of my hand, to where it allows me to push the knob down. And in that little short time that it took me to get the card, to get my hand from where I slid the card in down to the doorknob, it wasn't long enough. It was too quick, and it wouldn't let me unlock it. You had you needed like ninja reflexes, super quick ninja reflexes to be able to do it. And the only way you can do it is that you have to have both hands free. You have to put the card in with your right hand and then do the doorknob with your left, or vice versa. I don't know if anybody out there has a preference, card left hand, doorknob right hand, doorknob, whatever. But and this happened several times while we were at the hotel. We'd go through the door and not be able to get in. At one point, I was like, okay, I'll put the card in and you open the door. And I think we did that several times. That was the only way we could do it, because we did not have the ninja quick reflexes that it took to get into our hotel room. Maybe it was a glitch or something. I don't know. Why can't they just give us, a good 5 or 10 seconds, from the time that card pulls out? Just as long as you got 5 or 10 seconds, you can get in. But it was a really quick nanosecond, and it was a struggle every time we got to the door. All right, I think I am up at my first break already, so I'm going to take a quick break here, and I'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Oh, hold on just a second. Let me make sure I get this going right. I'll try one more time.
The Todd Cook Show will be right back.
Hi folks, it's me, Todd Cook, and boy do I have a deal for you. Do you have a business or a website, or maybe just an event that you want to promote, but you don't have the money to invest? Well, why not try to accomplish that right here on the Todd Cook Show? Free of charge. That's right, you can run an ad right here on this podcast free of charge. However, once the Todd Cook Show starts to pick up more and more listeners, the free offer will expire. So take advantage now. All you have to do is send your recorded commercial, which is 30 seconds or less, to me at this email address, thetoddcookshow@gmail.com. That's thetoddcookshow@gmail.com, and I will play it as time allows. So send me that commercial now and help the Todd Cook Show, and the Todd Cook Show will help you.
Okay, I am back. My computer, I need to rearrange my computer here, and maybe the studio, because I'm having trouble reaching it at sometimes. And there, before that commercial, I had forgotten that I had not opened up my sound effect board yet, so I had to hit that open up. I should probably do that ahead of time. I'm recording this at an odd time, actually. Usually it's later at night, and my kids are either in bed or they're quiet and inside, but I'm recording this on a sunny afternoon, and they're outside the door playing, and I can actually hear them playing a little bit. I got the door locked, so hopefully they don't bust in on me. But if you hear any background noise, any kids playing out there, it's just my two sons, and my wife is out there too. I think she is trying to get some training wheels on a bicycle for my youngest son, and I don't think he'll ever be able to do it. He's only 2, but the 6-year-old can ride a bike just fine without training wheels. So my wife is maybe going to get the 2-year-old started as well. So at least he doesn't feel like he's being left out as his older brother goes zigzagging around on his bicycle. I got music from Surface coming up. You don't want to miss that. It's a good song. It'll be up in just a few minutes from now. I also have a recorded conversation with my wife, which I will play at the very end of this program today. This is kind of an awkward little bit that I'm going to try to do. I've done it before, and I kind of liked it, and we'll see if everybody out there likes it as well. It should be interesting. That will be at the very end of the show. Back to the hotel, our hotel experience. Shortly after we got there, we went to the restaurant, and we went to a hotel that's got a restaurant and a bar right inside the same building, so you never have to go outside. We did go outside to go shopping. Across the street, there's a shopping center, and we went over there and came back. But it's kind of nice because once you're there, you're hungry, if you want to go out to eat, there's the restaurant or the bar, and the bar's got a menu. The restaurant, obviously, has got food as well. And the restaurant, serves alcohol. So if you want an adult beverage, you can get that at the restaurant as well. And you don't have to go outside because normally, in Kansas, the weather can be really bad, cold, hot, windy. Who knows? Today it was really nice. But either way, we go there, and it's nice to be able, once you get to your room, not have to leave that building again, and just be able to walk around and entertain yourself. And they got the big courtyard where you can play pool or ping pong or whatever you want to do, and a swimming pool, of course. And I might talk about that a little bit later. That's more for my wife than anybody else. I'm not a big swimming pool guy. Actually, I'll say this right now. If I was a man of means and I had enough money that I could install a swimming pool at my house, I wouldn't do it. Well, I probably would, but the only reason I would do it would be for my wife or my kids or guests that might come over that would really enjoy the swimming pool. I'm not a swimming pool guy. People say, oh, it's really nice on a hot day outside to be able to jump into the pool and cool off. It's so relaxing and refreshing. Well, that might be the case, but at a hotel, the pool's indoors, so you're not going to be that hot, and jumping in the pool is not something you're going to do to try to cool down. The place is air conditioned. Or I guess this time of year it's heated, but it's climate controlled. You're not going to be so hot that you need to jump into a swimming pool. So I definitely don't understand the concept of an indoor swimming pool. People say, well, it's nice, it's refreshing. No, to me, you know what a swimming pool is to me? You know what a swimming pool does to me? It gets me wet. That's it. I'm all wet now. Now I got to go and dry off. So a swimming pool, you got to get undressed, put your swimming trunks on, you go get wet, and then you dry yourself off and get out of your swimming trunks and back into some clothes. It seems all really pointless. Just dump some water on your head or something if you want to get wet. I don't really understand swimming pools. They're just wet. It's a big body of water. You jump in and you get wet. They're for kids. I understand they like to splash or whatever, and even in an outdoor pool, it's the same thing. If you're hot, go inside. There's something called air conditioning. So I'm not real big on swimming pools. But anyway, we had went out to the restaurant shortly after we got there. It was a little too early. It was too late for lunch. We'd already eaten lunch before we left the house, and it was a little too early for supper. So we decided to just go to the restaurant and get some appetizers. And she got some chips and salsa, and I got some shrimp, and we sat there for a couple hours. And by the way, the conversation that you are going to hear that we recorded happened at this very moment. But right now, I'm not going to tell you much about what happened at the table while we're eating chips and salsa and shrimp. What I'm going to tell you is that about 5 minutes after we left the restaurant, I'm standing in a hotel room looking in the mirror, taking my fingernail and trying to scrape the salsa and the shrimp cocktail sauce off of my shirt. And there was not one, not two, not three, but 4 different spots where it had fallen on my shirt, and I didn't see it. My wife didn't see it either. Not that I can recall. I don't know. You'd think that if I was dribbling salsa this much, one of us would have noticed it, but neither one of us did. And so there I am in front of a mirror, and this is not how you're supposed to be spending your nice romantic weekend with your wife. You're not supposed to be standing in front of a mirror with your fingernail and trying to scrape it off. Now, I could have changed shirts, but like I said, we packed really light. It was only going to be one night, and we did not want to spend that much time or bring that many clothes, I should say, to change into. I had like one other shirt I think I bought, and if I decide to change this shirt right now, what if I spilt something on my next shirt? Then I'd be shirtless already. So I thought it'd be best if I spent a little time scraping dried salsa and shrimp cocktail sauce off of my shirt. Then one other thing I want to tell you about before we go and listen to some music is we went shopping across the road. There's a little shopping center over there, and there's a new place. It's called Ross or something like that. And I'd never been there before. My wife had been there once before. It's right next door to Kohl's, which we end up going to as well. But I thought Ross was kind of like a Kohl's, or maybe even more upscale than that. But go in there, and it's got like this Goodwill vibe going on, except for name brand. I think it's all new stuff. It just maybe it got rejected from Walmart or something and ended up here. But a lot of name brand. I saw a lot of name brand shoes, Reeboks and Nike and Adidas, and it all looked brand new to me. And I just needed some shirts. One, because I just spilled salsa on the shirt that I had, but mostly because I don't have that many good this long sleeve shirts. And I don't mean like button-up shirts. I don't have any of those either. But I mean just a nice long sleeve shirt, with a collar or some buttons on it. And so we went there and looked around, and I got 2 shirts, and I wanted to try them on. I ended up buying the one shirt, but the other shirt I did not buy. And here's why. I've never seen a shirt like this before. I go into the men's or into the fitting room, and this shirt is you pull it overhead. It doesn't button all the way down. It just has like 6 inches from the neck down to where you have to button it up. But unlike most shirts that on that 6 inches might have 3 or 4 buttons at the most, this button had 6. Or this shirt had 6 buttons just from, starting at about your Adam's apple down to the middle of my sternum, maybe, if that, had like 6 buttons. But that's not it, folks. Because this is one of those shirts that had like this fancy little thing sewn underneath to make it look like you had another shirt underneath that shirt, which is fine. But the problem is the undershirt part, the fake undershirt, had buttons as well. 6 buttons there. So this would be a total of 12 buttons. And as soon as I noticed that, I pretty much had it in my head that unless this shirt looks really, really good on me, I'm not buying it. Because I'm not going to take the time to button 6 buttons. Or 12 buttons, excuse me. And so I go in the dressing room and I put it on. It looked fairly all right on me. And I was like, well, maybe the price was right. It looked good. I can do this. About 30 seconds later, I'm still trying to get that first button on. I could not get it buttoned. It's like these little tiny buttons with these tiny holes. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, no, I don't look good enough in this shirt to put up with this kind of test of my patience for these buttons. So that shirt went back to the rack. I've never seen anything like that before. 6 inches, 12 buttons, way too many. No thank you, especially those tiny buttons. And that's all it took. It took 30 seconds of me struggling with that first button, and about 5 seconds of me looking in the mirror and realizing that I don't look good enough in this shirt to make it worth it. So that shirt went back. All right, it looks like it's time to play that song for you right now. This is a band that I had not heard of until it was recommended to me on Facebook. The band is called Surface, Surphace. Look them up on Facebook. You can buy their stuff on iTunes. And this is a song that they did. It's called Lazy Crazy Days on the Todd Cook Show. And there's that thing again. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try it again. Surface with Lazy Crazy Days on the Todd Cook Show.
faster than you can think. You say something and end up blank. The whole town knows what you're about. Because this world's a small Bible. Make a mistake, I'm in trouble. Can't write it out, be wiped out. Nobody around understands what I do, but everyone knows much more than I do. So why doesn't I tell you one thing? I can't wait till I can go away, escape from all this purple haze, spend my time doing everything but nothing. Nobody knows how I really feel. Know if this mask I've got on is real, but I don't seem to care. Right now I just wanna play my guitar, fly away to something far, and wake up from this nightmare.
All right, that was Lazy Crazy Days by Surface. Look them up on Facebook, on iTunes. You can buy, they got several albums up there. You can buy each album or any individual song by Surface that you want there on iTunes, Surphace. Now, I'm going to finish up this program with the conversation with my wife, which I told you about earlier. This is just a short conversation that we had while eating some appetizers at a restaurant. And so if you ever want to be a fly on the wall, here's your chance. But if you were a fly on the wall during this particular time, we probably would have smashed you with a napkin because we were trying to eat. We don't like flies. But anyway, we're going to end the show right now with a conversation with my wife.
Salt was kind of chunky.
Oh, no, you're right. The chips are kind of colorful.
They're tricolor. It looks like quadruple color here, not tricolor.
Well, there's four, isn't there? There's white, green, red,
and blue.
Blue. I've never seen blue chip.
Bright blue.
Blue chip. That's what they call college or a promising sports athlete. He's a blue chip player because you can gamble on him because he's going to be good for sure.
Learn something new every day.
There was a movie called Blue Chip with Shaquille O'Neal.
Also tastes too fresh for me. I need it chopped up more and marinated more. It needs a shelf life of about what?
You want your tomato-based salsa to be less tomato-y.
Yes. And less oniony.
How many shrimp did I get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why wouldn't they go up to 12? They give me 11. Why don't they do
You
12?
just ate one.
No, I haven't took one bite. That's right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That seems like a little bit of a rip-off. I'd be going to go to 11, go on to 12. Or actually 13, the baker's dozen.
So, that means one of them you have to split in half with me. You can do 5, I do 5, and then a half of one.
All right.
Fair.
I get the first half.
Let me split the chips up too.
I'm going to try chip. What color should I get? Blue?
No.
I'm not a blue chip guy.
No.
Just plain white one?
The picture.
Too heavy. Broke my chip.
Because it's too chunky. If I just dip it like this, then I'm okay.
That is chunky. That's good. Let me tell her to take it from there.
Can you put a little more for my wife?
She likes tomatoes soft, but not tomatoes. You know what, baby? I love you so much. And since we're out for Valentine's Day, I'm just going to let you have a whole shrimp. So you get 6, and I only get 5.
Oh, aren't you nice?
I am.
You didn't take me to Red Lobster today. You're going to let me have the whole shrimp.
Yeah. What do you mean I didn't take it to Red Lobster? They decided not to go.
Fine.
We can still go.
If you want to say
Well,
we decided. No, I'm just kidding.
Just appetizers right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go, then. But now I'm going to eat every one of your stinking chips.
Good, because I don't like salt in it.
Okay. Apparently that is it. I'm not sure why, because there should be more on there, but for some reason the program only played part of it. But I guess that's okay, because now I can save the rest for later. So there you have it. Just a little intimate moment between me and my wife. I don't know if that was entertaining or not, but it's one of those things that I kind of enjoy. That's it for this episode of the Todd Cook Show. Thanks for listening. It's been a nice go so far. Episode 9 is done. And I will be back here next week to record another episode. That'll be episode 10. In episode 10, we'll have a brand new commercial. And I can't wait to have it. I think I might have said that last week, but I didn't quite get it in time. But the next one for sure, fingers crossed, we'll have a new commercial. So, thanks for listening. I am Todd Cook. This is the Todd Cook Show. Tune in next week. Let me do the talking.